The MLS All-Stars got smoked 5-0 by Arsenal, but that result is the least of the problems with this game, with MLS, and with how US soccer operates as a whole. I want to break all that down next here on Pints and Punditry. Welcome back to Pints and Punditry, and if you're a US soccer fan, you probably saw the MLS All-Stars get drubbed 5-0 by Arsenal last night, but that result was not nearly one of the biggest problems of this game. It's the fact that it exists at all, and I'm going to break down why that's a problem here in a second. But before I do, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me if you don't already follow the channel. Hit the like button on this video. I definitely want to get your comments below. Do you like the game? Was it fun to watch? Do you like where it puts American soccer on the world stage? Because that's my problem with it. But tell me if I'm overreacting. I'd love to get your thoughts. And of course, you can always share thoughts with us on Twitter. Go ahead and follow us at TotalFIFACM. So the US All-Stars got smoked 5-0, and that's not really shocking. Arsenal's a very good club. They played a lot of their starters. It's preseason for them, and All-Star teams typically don't fare well against already established clubs. So the end result of 5-0 really isn't surprising, but that's not the issue here. The issue is that this game existed at all, right? Why? First of all, let's talk about All-Star games. Why do All-Star games exist? Well, they're here for entertainment, but All-Star games do not really exist in football. They are an American conception. They're an American invention. It started with the baseball All-Star game because baseball is an American sport. It was developed in this country. Football and basketball followed suit, again, two American sports. They saw the popularity of the American game, and 100 years ago it was very popular. Even that's dying off now, but they followed suit. The football version is a joke. The basketball one is not really competitive, but it is at least entertaining. But soccer does not have this. They have, maybe preseason friendlies, maybe some exhibitions outside of the regular calendar year, but to have an all-star exhibition in the middle of a competitive season is not a concept that exists in the European football world. This is the inherent problem with MLS. They have tried to Americanize a European sport by adding American features like not having promotion and relegation, having a closed system, selling franchise fees, which they've had to do to a certain extent because we don't have 100-year-old clubs in small towns the way European football does, particularly in England. But there were still ways around that. They've tried to Americanize it to fit into what they think Americans want in their sports, mostly because we don't know any better, right? So things like a draft, things like playoffs, we come to expect this as American sports because that's what our American sports do, but MLS did not need to do that. So in a nutshell, it is the Americanization of a European sport that is the fundamental problem with MLS, and then All-Star Game really represents that. But let's also talk about what this All-Star Game was. It wasn't two MLS squads playing against each other. They took MLS All-Stars, which, by the way, when you only have one team, you only have half as many All-Stars as when you get two sides represented, so half the players didn't get to be All-Stars. That's a shame for them. But also, you then played a European team who's just ramping up for their season. This isn't even a concept. It just goes to show you how much MLS values marketing and publicity over their product. And we see that with Messi and the totally unfair competitive balance issues that it causes by allowing a team like Inter Miami to just go out and claim all these former Barcelona players and violate all their rules and have Apple chip in and Adidas chip in, and if I'm one of these other owners, I am throwing a fit, except it makes them more money so they don't care. So once again, MLS always values TV ratings and money and marketing and publicity over the actual competitive product on the field. And in an exhibition like an All-Star game, it doesn't really matter, but it signifies everything that's wrong with MLS. The fact that even if you're going to have this All-Star game concept that does not need to exist in European football, the fact that you don't even do it right and have two teams of All-Stars playing against each other, but you choose to have your best go out and get their asses kicked by one of Europe's best teams, just shows you how little they care about the actual product on the pitch. Let's also talk about why this was able to exist. Arsenal's just ramping up for their season, whereas MLS is in the middle to second half of theirs. Why? Because we refuse to adhere to the same calendar as the rest of the freaking world, which is a problem because it makes it tough for international windows, it makes it tough for transfers. When players transfer away from MLS, they either leave in the middle of an MLS season or they wait till the MLS season is over and they transfer in the middle of a European season. It makes it very difficult. So that's a hindrance to MLS, and they do that simply because they don't want to compete with the ratings of the NFL and the NBA and starting their season during the baseball postseason and all the other things. It's a very crowded time of year. But that wouldn't be a problem if they focused more on the product at hand. There is plenty of sports to go around. College football as well. They don't want to compete with that. So they have decided that, again, TV ratings are the priority above the product on the pitch, and so that's their sole focus, is always, when are we going to have the best TV ratings? Well, summer's a better time. We're not competing with as much, so let's do the opposite of what the rest of the world does, just for TV ratings. It is, once again, short-sighted, and it's only thinking about the immediate TV dollars, and it puts them at a competitive disadvantage to the rest of the world. And then all of their decisions are based around this, and so they do novelty things like putting all their best players on one side together and watch them go out and get their ass kicked. Why in the world, if you're doing a skills competition, would you want your inferior players to go showcase their skills against a much better product? In what way does that show your product in a good light? It doesn't. It doesn't. Luckily for them, Kai Havertz laid an egg. But really, you're going to say, let's showcase our skills against players who are better. And yeah, you might get TV ratings because Arsenal has big names, but that doesn't benefit the end product that you're trying to put out. It really just shows you how inferior you are. But MLS doesn't care about that. All they care about is TV ratings, and they have catered to the American sports fan to the detriment of their product. We would be just fine without a draft. We would be just fine without playoffs. 25 years ago, fans would have figured out what promotion and relegation means, and they certainly can do it now. I don't know if it's possible to put the toothpaste back in the tube once you're charging $500 million for franchise fees, but fans were smart enough to figure it out, and MLS missed an opportunity, and they continue to dig themselves deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole by trying to Americanize a European sport and constantly prioritizing TV ratings. Apple's now in bed with them. They're going to push MLS around, and MLS is going to do everything Apple wants in order to get TV ratings. And in the short term, that will work. People watched this game, and I get it. I watched part of it too, and it was entertaining. But it didn't showcase MLS in a good light. It didn't make the product look good, and it really just demonstrated how inferior MLS is and why that has become the case for so many years. It's because they continue to make short-term decisions that are all about money and TV ratings at the detriment to their product. Am I overreacting? Probably, because this was just an exhibition game, but to me it signifies everything that's wrong with MLS and the decisions that they constantly make. Do you agree? Comment below. I want to hear your thoughts. Please put me in my place if I'm wrong. Are you a big MLS supporter? I want to hear it. Or do you agree that this is all just crap that they're throwing together in hopes of getting ratings? While you're down there, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to this video. And of course, follow us on Twitter at TotalFIFACM. Thanks as always for joining us here on Pints and Punditry. This is Total FIFA Career Mode.